Do these viral TikTok tricks really save money? Or are they just smoke and mirrors? Today, I'm going to put the 5 most talked about savings hacks on the internet to the test, and I promise you the results are not what you expect. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ones work and which ones you should forget forever. Let's find out. Inflation, rising prices every month, and the eternal promise of save easily with this viral trick have filled TikTok with financial hacks. Some seem magical, saving without realizing it, spending less on gas, even making your bank account look bigger at the end of the month. But do they work in real life? Today, we're not going to be left wondering. I'm going to test 5 of the most viral TikTok hacks, one by one, in real life situations, and in the end, I'm going to rate them in 3 categories: ease of application, money actually saved, and whether it's worth maintaining over time. Before we start, which of these hacks do you think really works? I challenge you to guess while watching the video separate expenses in banking apps or physical envelopes. Each spending category has its own envelope. When the envelope is empty, you can't spend anymore. I show my expenses for a week: food, transportation, entertainment. I divide them into digital envelopes using a banking app or finance app. I spend the week living with that system. The advantage is that it forces you to visualize expenses, problems, discipline, temptation to move money from one envelope to another. What if I run out of transportation money in the middle of the week? Another test is every time you receive a $5 bill or the equivalent in your country, you save it and never spend it. I spent several days using cash for small purchases. Every time I received a bill of the chosen value, I separated it. Surprisingly, I had X amount in just a few days. But I discovered a problem. If you always save those bills, you start overspending just to generate them. Guess how much I managed to save in just 1 week? What I discovered at the end made me wonder if this hack is really saving or self-deception. Another method is, if you want to buy something non-essential, you write it down on a list and wait 24 hours before deciding. Psychological hack, reduce impulse purchases. I go to an online store with tempting things. Instead of buying instantly, I write it down on my list. I wait 24 hours. Result, I no longer want most of the things. I reduced impulse purchases by more than 60%. But I discovered that during flash sales, it can be frustrating. Here I was about to break the rule, but I stopped myself at the last second. The craziest thing was realizing that after 24 hours, I didn't want almost anything I'd written down. Viral hack. Always filling the tank halfway supposedly reduces fuel consumption and wear. Myth or reality? 2 weeks comparing, one filling up to the top and the other halfway. I measure fuel consumption and performance. I discovered the difference is minimal. The inconvenience of going to the gas station more often isn't worth it. I was surprised here because, in theory, I should have saved. What I did discover and no one tells you about on TikTok is this, revealing that there's no real impact. Set up an automatic transfer every time you receive money to a separate savings account. You save without thinking. I set up an automatic transfer of 10% of my income. I went a month without touching that account. I forgot about the money, and at the end of the month, I had some real savings. The only problem, if you don't calculate the percentage correctly, you can end up short on spending. Something unexpected happened here. At the end of the month, I had more money saved than I thought possible. The trick to this hack isn't the technology, it's the psychological factor. Hack summary: digital envelopes, good but require discipline. Bill challenge, fun but not sustainable. 24-hour checklist: the best for avoiding impulse purchases. Half-filled gas, myth, automatic savings, the most effective. The most important thing isn't finding the magic trick, but the habit that truly fits your life. If you choose just one of all these hacks and actually apply it, you're already one step closer to having more solid finances. Tell me in the comments which hack you're going to try first. And if you want me to test more viral TikTok tricks, subscribe, because this experiment is just beginning.